You know, skiing in varied conditions like this here requires you to be a little bit more active in your lower body, and believe it or not, that activity also gives you strength. You know, I think sometimes when people think of strength in their skiing, they're almost trying to hold a position, almost like you're flexing your muscles and just sort of staying stationary, you know. But what we want to try to really do is use our ankles, our knees, and our hips. Think of it this way. Say I'm at the gym, and this here is my squat bar, right? If I'm going to squat and lift as much weight as possible, I need to use all three of those joints. If the ankles aren't involved, well, that's no good. If the knees aren't involved, that's no good either. So what I want to try to do is I want to try to use all three. Come on with me and we'll show you how. You know, it's a basic law of biomechanics. You know, the more joints that you can involve in an activity, the greater the force that you can create and the greater the force that you can resist. The trick, I suppose, though, is how do you make those joints available for use? You know what? Where it comes from is where your feet are. So if your feet are too far ahead, well, your ankle here is out of the picture. But if your feet are too far back, your knee's out of the picture. Ideally, what we want to try to do is we want to try to get all three working together. Ankles, knees, and hips. Let's try a few more. So here's the tricky part. You know, my feet are never really stopped in one spot for very long. I need to be active. I like to think of placing my feet all the way through the arc. When I do that, I have some mobility and I also create strength in my stance. So it's kind of tricky, you know, moving, sort of weird to equate that with strength, but as you're always moving through the arc, you're always trying to seek out balance. Here's a little bit of technical mumbo jumbo for you. In skiing, we call this area around here, we call that the center of mass, and then down here, well, we call that the base of support. See if you can visualize that there. There's my base of support, there's my center of mass. Instead of moving this around, what I want to try to do is move this around so I catch the center of mass and deflect the center of mass, and that's what gives me strength in my stance. So we got to be active in our feet. Let's go try a few more. Thinking of strength being holding a position, what I'm doing is I'm trying to be active with my feet, and I'm trying to place my feet all the way through the arc. And what that basically does is that translates to balance from the snow up. Feet are in a good spot, all of the lower joints are active, therefore I've got some strength in my stance. So I hope that one works for you. From beautiful Big White Ski Resort, Canada's favorite family resort just outside Kelowna, BC, I'm Josh. We'll see you next time.